guys, welcome back to B&B Sports, and today we are going to make our predictions for who will win every game in March Madness, and we're going to go over each brackets and,
we're going to go quick.
Kind of talk about it.
First round.
And we'll talk about, like, our disagreements on games and stuff.
Yeah, mostly later rounds.
So, I mean, we all agree, we'll start. So, Duke versus who cares? Duke wins.
Yeah, Duke wins.
VCU and UCF, I would say
I say VCU, good defense, I mean,
they play good defense. I believe they're going to get who they had an injured player, and I believe they're going to get him back for the tournament, and I think they'll beat UCF. They injured their point guard, basically controlled
UCF
who they are.
VCU.
But yeah. Mississippi State, Liberty, possible upset, but I got Mississippi State winning.
Yeah, I got Mississippi State. I mean, yeah, Liberty's a pretty decent team.
Yeah,
I think it could go either.
I thought Mississippi State was definitely high, but I gotta go with Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech beating St. Louis. The Billikens beating the Billikens. Maryland against Belmont or Temple. I had Temple winning the play-in game, but then Maryland beating them.
Yeah. I have Belmont winning that game, and then Maryland winning the whole thing. And then Michigan State, Bradley. I have Michigan State.
You just skipped LSU and Yale. LSU and Yale. Possible upset. Gotta go with LSU.
And then I skipped Louisville and Minnesota.
And Minnesota. Tough game.
I have Minnesota.
I have Louisville. I was thinking Minnesota just because they're hot, but they just suffered a huge 24-point loss to Michigan. I think that'll slow them down a little. And I mean, Louisville's a good team,
was the better team
ranked, almost knocked off Duke with Zion. Michigan State, Bradley, obviously Michigan State. Gonzaga, Prairie. Gonzaga wins. Syracuse, Baylor. I'm pretty positive with Syracuse on that one. Ben, go up, Ben. Repping the merch. Marquette, Murray State. Marcus Howard and Ja Morant. What a great matchup. Murray State wins. Pulls off the upset. Murray State is just not Ja Morant. They
Marquette
have other players. Marquette,
they're not hot at all. I mean,
lost 5 of their last 6 games, and also Murray State has other guards that I think can carry him to the win. I'm sit up a little bit, Ben. A little bit down low. Florida State and Vermont.
I think Florida State, after being in the championship in the ACC, the best conference. Yeah. Probably the best. I mean, that's a...
I have... that's a team that we both can think that can make a run. Buffalo, Arizona State, or St. John's. Buffalo wins it. Although I have St. John's winning that playing game. Texas Tech, Northern Kentucky.
Texas Tech.
I mean, they are coming off a bad loss, but I think they can. That was just a bad game. That was a mishap, and I think they'll come on and be good. Nevada, Florida. Nevada, I think, is the most vulnerable team in the tournament, so I gotta go with Florida.
Yeah,
and I think they're also
Florida's. Yeah, they're hot. I think they're gonna come out.
Yeah, just beat LSU. Basically, play themselves into the tournament and almost made the final. Got robbed on a last-second call. Michigan, Montana, obviously Michigan. Virginia, Gardner-Webb.
I have Oklahoma, Florida, Ole Miss.
Gardner-Webb beating Virginia.
That's a 9-8 game. It could.
Yeah, Oklahoma, Ole Miss. I think Oklahoma is a little bit vulnerable. So, in Oklahoma, or Ole Miss is a little bit vulnerable. If I said that, I don't know what I said. And then Oklahoma is going to win that game. Oregon, Wisconsin. Oregon coming off. 2 big teams. And, it's going to be tough. But I think Oregon will pull it off. They're maybe the hottest team in the country right now, winning the Pac-12 championship.
And defense wins championships. I'm telling you.
There you go.
They have, one of the best defenses right now.
Kansas State, UC Irvine.
Kansas State.
They should
have won. They should have won that. Tournament.
But they were missing their big player, and Wade. Don't know how he's gonna be in the tournament. If he's gonna come back, if they start winning games, that's gonna be.
I think Kansas State has a chance
major question, and that also, if he doesn't come back for that Oregon game, that could be a possible upset to look for. Villanova, St. Mary's. This is really tough. but I gotta go with the Wildcats. Again, I think this is gonna be a really good game. But they're gonna finish it in the end, and they're gonna finish a lot of games in this tournament. And I'll show you where I
St.
have
Mary
them
after
in the end.
After beating
Gonzaga, they're on a high, and so is Villanova. So it should be a great game.
Yep.
Cincinnati or Purdue, Old Dominion. Purdue.
I don't like Purdue. Yeah, I don't think either is.
I don't think Carson Edwards is a great.
3 seed is gonna win it.
He's more like a Russell Westbrook in the fact that he takes some bad shots and just needs some learning. Cincinnati, Iowa, tough game. Cincinnati, I think, will winning the American. Tennessee, Colgate, Tennessee. North Carolina, Iona, North Carolina, Utah State, Washington.
I have Washington.
I have Utah State, and the only reason I'm going to say that is Washington just lost their Pac-12 championship. They're on a low. Utah State won the West, the something West,
I have no idea.
I forget what the conference is called.
I don't know much about Utah State.
But they beat Nevada, and they're in the tournament. They're pretty hot, and I think they're going to advance. Auburn, New Mexico State. This could be a tough game, but Auburn also one of the hottest teams in the country. Kansas, Northeastern. You have Kansas, Ben. I have Northeastern. I don't think Kansas is a very good team this year.
I struggled with Kansas injuries. There, 4 seed against 13 seed. That could be enough.
Just the thing, Northeastern should have been in the tournament last year, but couldn't finish out a game. This time they get in. I think they're going to knock off Kansas, a very vulnerable team. Iowa State, Ohio State. Iowa State coming off their Big 12 championship. I think Iowa State will win. Houston. Georgia State. Houston wins. Wofford, Seton Hall.
I have Seton Hall.
I agree with that. I can see Wofford. They're on such a big win streak. And Luke just scared the crap out of us. But I gotta go with Seton Hall. They're hot, pretty hot too, and give Villanova a scare.
Yeah, well, Wofford. I could go either way.
They're just not very great. And then Kentucky and Abilene Christian, and Kentucky wins that one. All right, into the second round. Duke VCU. Duke wins. Mississippi State, Virginia Tech, definitely.
I have Mississippi State.
Wow.
I don't know much about either. Virginia Tech, I know.
Virginia Tech getting their point guard back.
I know nothing about either of these teams, especially. No, I know more about
Mississippi
Virginia
Tech, but a little bit vulnerable. So I had to go with Virginia Tech. They're shocked you picked that. Maryland, LSU.
I have LSU. I don't think Maryland's
Louisiana State wins that. Maryland
is a 6 seed.
Young.
They're just young. They're a 6 seed, but they should be like an 8. They look like an 8 seed, 9 seed.
Right now they do. Louisville, Michigan State. He had Minnesota, Michigan State.
Michigan State. I have Michigan State.
I had Louisville. I think that is going to be one of the big upsets. But Louisville's such a great team, and I can't be hooked to Michigan State as a Big Ten team. Gotta go with Louisville. And the upset, Gonzaga, Syracuse. I have
Syracuse beating.
But I had to switch.
I think Gonzaga's in an easy conference. They're a good team. They have what's his name?
Hachimura.
Yeah. I think he's a good player, but I don't know. I don't feel that confident in Gonzaga for some reason.
I might be kind of biased. But I don't feel confident in Syracuse just because they didn't do anything. They're not on some kind of hot streak,
But neither is Gonzaga.
That's true.
They just lost championship
game
against
then you just go to who's the better team. Gonzaga. Murray State, FSU. We both had that.
State.
He had Florida State. I had Florida State. Buffalo, Texas Tech.
I had Buffalo.
He had Buffalo in the upset. I had Texas Tech. Get it from the Big 12. Had a struggling season.
I think Buffalo's a strong team. They're stronger than they look. As a 6 seed, I think they're stronger than.
I don't think the MAC is okay. And, they kind of struggled with some teams.
Yeah, in the regulars, they've kind of stayed in the same spot. They haven't really gone up or down.
It's just because of their conference.
Teams, yeah. Yeah.
So Buffalo and Texas Tech, and I had Texas Tech just because I think their game again was a mishap. Florida, Michigan. He had Michigan. I had Florida in the upset because I think Florida is a really good team. They play great defense. They have some shooters. Michigan is on a low right now. Lost 3 straight games. They're
well, then you could say if you go back to Michigan State, Michigan State's on a high.
Yeah, but they're in the Big Ten, which I don't think is as strong as a conference. That's my opinion. Okay. But Florida's not a high not on a high either. No, they just lost on a heartbreaker, but I think they're going to come out of it.
And you look at who's the better team.
Virginia, Oklahoma, Virginia, Oregon, Kansas State could be a problem for Kansas State.
I have Kansas State.
Had them advancing. Villanova, Purdue, we both agree Villanova wins. It's going to be experience. And also, I feel a little bit of Villanova magic on the high after they win the Big East. Purdue's just lost.
Is Creighton not even
round. In yeah, Creighton did not make it.
I don't know why I just thought of that, but...
And, you know, I think they'll continue forward with the experience and win that game. Cincinnati, Tennessee could be some problems, but I think Tennessee will finish the game. UNC, Utah State, UNC.
I have UNC.
Auburn, Kansas for him.
Auburn.
He still had Auburn beating Kansas. I had Auburn beating Northeastern. Iowa State, Houston. Had Iowa State changed to Houston.
I think Houston's a strong team.
I agree.
They're looking for the trophy.
And then Seton Hall, Kentucky. Seton Hall beat them on a neutral floor.
I have Kentucky.
Gotta go with Kentucky this time though. Mm-hmm. So now in the Sweet 16, we'll start with Duke, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech beat Duke, no Zion, but they didn't have their point guard. It could be an interesting game.
Duke's winning that.
I think it'll be
Zion's
close
literally
for about
this team just
35 minutes. It'll be a close game. It'll be a 3-point game through 35 minutes, and then Duke's going to take over. LSU, Louisville.
LSU.
I
had Michigan State, LSU.
And then you had Duke, Mississippi State, so Duke's winning.
LSU,
Michigan State. He had LSU beating Michigan State. Mm-hmm. And I had Louisville beating LSU. Big shocker there. LSU on a low after losing. And Louisville hasn't really done anything, but I think they're a strong team coached by Chris Mack really well. And then we'll just go to the Elite Eight. Duke, Louisville. You had Duke, LSU. Duke. And they are in the Final Four.
And Syracuse, Florida State.
Gonzaga, Florida State. We both had Florida State moving forward. Again, I think they're on a little bit of a high, and I think in a tougher conference than Gonzaga will move on to the Elite Eight. Texas Tech and
I have Buffalo, Michigan.
And
Michigan. I have Michigan moving on. You know, the defense coming in.
Texas.
I
had Texas Tech and Florida. I think
they were
Texas
in the Final
Tech
Four
and
last year. I mean, that doesn't. But still, I mean, they're looking for the trophy. I mean, this is a strong team. They can you can go either way with them.
Yeah. They can go to the Final
Four. There
can
be an upset.
But they've really used those highs into the tournament for the past 2 years. Now they're not on that high, and that could be interesting to see because they've won for the past 2 years in the Big Ten tournament. Texas Tech, Florida, had to go with Texas Tech. Both two great defensive teams, but in the end, Texas Tech wins the game.
I have Michigan, Florida State, and no. What am I saying?
Michigan and Florida State.
Michigan, Florida State, and Elite Eight. What am I saying? Oh yeah, Michigan, Florida State, and Elite Eight. I have Florida State moving on. You know, I think
tough team.
I think the matchup in the Final Four is going to go back to the ACC tournament. Duke and Florida State.
And I have to agree. Florida State beats Texas Tech. I think they're just. I see them. I just see them going. You know, I like their style. They can make some shots. You know, Duke ended up taking over, but I think they can, regroup and come back into the Final Four. And then in the South region, Virginia and Kansas State. We both agreed Kansas State wins that one. Even if they don't get their player back, I just can't bet on Virginia when their season is on the line, and they're coming off that low.
They're coming off that low. But I don't think they should.
In the loss, and remember, Florida State beat Virginia, so I think KSU will beat them, and then Villanova, Tennessee. Gotta go with Villanova. Again, it's the experience, and they take that Big East win and they say, let's keep going, And they were close games, but I think they can prevail with that win and just keep pushing forward. Again, experience kills. I think they can get their shooters to work. And, I can see them making a run over Tennessee, going to the Elite Eight, where we both have Kansas State. he has Kansas State and Tennessee, and you have Kansas State beating Tennessee, going to the Final Four.
I mean, I've been really going back and forth between Tennessee and Kansas State. That I used to have Virginia there, but I think Kansas State and Tennessee, that could go either way. Like, yeah, I used to have Tennessee there, but I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You could go really either. I would think Tennessee would win that.
Yeah.
Kansas State, Villanova. Even if Kansas State gets their player, Villanova going to the Final Four. I think they are the better team in that matchup. And then we go to the Midwest region, UNC, Auburn. That could be a tough game, but then USC will end up prevail. Houston, Kentucky. Had Houston changed to Kentucky, that'll be one of the best games of the tournament. Just a hard fight.
I mean, if it happens.
Two great teams. UNC, Kentucky, got to go with UNC. And not much of a close game. So then, my Final Four, Duke, FSU, and we'll do that game because we both have Duke and Florida State.
No, we haven't done UNC to Kentucky.
Yeah, we didn't.
Oh, yeah, we both have. Okay, what am I saying? Okay, yeah. Duke and Florida State.
Got to go with Duke.
I have Duke.
I think Florida State might lead into the half, and then Duke might kill them in the second half. That's what I think could happen.
For the other two teams, I have Kansas State and UNC. And UNC winning that. He has Villanova, UNC.
UNC, I don't think Villanova can keep up with UNC.
But
I think they'll win that game pretty. They'll win that game They'll handle that game. And then the final, we both have Duke and UNC. Never played in March Madness before. This could be the first time. Who could win? Flip a coin. UNC wins for me, 80-79.
I have Duke winning.
He has Duke winning. It could be one of the best games they've ever
If they can, I mean, that's a dream matchup.
How great would that be?
That would be literally, I think that would be like the biggest game of this year.
I mean, it would just be unbelievable. And
it's a dream matchup. Like, I think everyone wants it to. Yeah, I know.
Playing in 2017, but then Duke gets shocked by South Carolina. So we just don't know what could happen. But I would love to see it. Who wouldn't like to see this game? But thank you for watching. You don't understand how I'm excited. How excited I am to be watching March Madness. One of my favorite times of the year. But thank you for watching. I'm Brooks.
I'm Ben. And this is BME Sports. See you next time.